New at 6 o'clock, reliving a nightmare on the witness stand. A woman who was feet away when her boyfriend was shot to death was called to testify in the trial of her jealous roommate who pulled the trigger.
Our 10 News reporter Steve Fiorina was in the courtroom, and Steve, angry text messages were sent leading up to that Ocean Beach shooting last summer.
Steve, the defendant and the victim were exchanging hateful and threatening texts that night. Then they met face to face. Lorraine Clark was asked to relive the night of June 22nd last year, time and again. The night her roommate, defendant Thomas Burke, shot and killed her boyfriend at the door to the condo where they lived in Ocean Beach.
No, it happened so fast that there was nothing that could have happened, no.
In fact, it happened so fast that you only think there was one shot.
My ears are ringing, so yeah.
She said she and Jess Robles had a few drinks and dinner that night, with a series of nasty text messages going back and forth between the two men. Clark said she went home to pack some things and leave when there was a knock at the door. Burke, who is known as TJ, rushed past her and opened it, then fired a pistol.
You asked Detective Burrow if in fact Jess had been shot twice.
Yes.
Because you were still under the impression that there was only one shot.
Because that's what I saw when I found Jess, was his neck was bleeding. I didn't know he was shot in the heart, too.
That moment devastated her. She said she was in shock.
My ears are ringing. I saw Jess bleeding out. It was horrible.
The DA called the shooting a fit of rage fueled by jealousy. The defense attorney argued self-defense because Burke felt threatened by Robles. Clark testified she saw no indication that Robles tried to push his way inside.
But the door would have opened towards me if Jess was trying to come in.
Prosecution is nearly complete with its phase of the trial. The defense expects to start on Thursday. If convicted, Burke faces 50 years to life in prison. Live downtown, Steve Fiorina, 10 News.
All right, Steve, Brian Shlonsky here in the 10 News Live Center, tracking some breaking news. This coming in from Poway, where right now the hazmat team has been called in for a sewage spill. Take a look. Let's show you exactly where this is going on right here on the map. I'm going to double click. It's pretty close to here. This is Corona Way and Horencia Drive. If we push in here, you'll see this is right in this area, and it's right along Poway Creek. I'm going to flip over here, show you the street view of this. So you see the bridge here overlooking Poway Creek, and there's the mobile home park. At this point, we know this started as a sewage blockage, spilling hundreds of gallons of sewage into that creek. Right now, as soon as we finish up, you see my photographer Derek there getting ready to load up. We're going to go out and check this out. We'll let you know what we find on 10 News at 11. Back to you.
Wait to hear. Thank you, Brian. Happening now, you're taking a live look inside Chula Vista City Council chambers. They're discussing the hot-button issue of immigration and how the city relates to sanctuary cities. 10 News reporter Joe Little spoke with the mayor before tonight's meeting, and he learned she doesn't even like the term sanctuary city.
It's pretty heated.
That's the mood surrounding the immigration debate in Mayor Mary Salas's South Bay City. Tonight, the City Council begins discussing a report about their own laws and how police should react when immigration is an issue.
It's been a very enlightening staff report.
Mayor Salas says the report reveals Chula Vista's police investigate crimes, but do not ask if someone is here legally. She says it's not their job. The report says that shouldn't change.
The recommendations are to do nothing.
Por violencia doméstica.
I've also been a domestic violence survivor.
Berta wants Chula Vista to stay the course. She admits being here illegally, but says she never feared calling police when she was the victim of domestic violence, or even when she says she was attacked by an immigration official.
And they have come to protect me and to help me.
Her attorney, Esther Valdez, translated for me. Oddly enough, Bertha wants police to check someone's residency status if they commit a crime.
And they're causing problems. I think they should.
Mayor Salas wants to hear from the people, but she doesn't want to hear the term sanctuary city anymore.
You know what? I wish people would stop throwing out that stupid term sanctuary city, because it's absolutely meaningless.
She called it a double-edged sword. Immigration opponents think it creates a safe haven for criminals, while illegal immigrants get a false sense of security.
I just want to move away from that term.
But she can't move away from the debate, a heated debate that could divide the South Bay City.
I know we are going to have differences of opinion.
In Chula Vista, Joe Little, 10 News.
No formal decisions will be made tonight. However, the mayor said that she would like to draft a statement affirming Chula Vista as a, quote, welcoming city where they maintain what they've been doing all along.
New developments. The father accused of slashing another parent's face with a broken beer bottle at a school fundraiser is out of jail tonight. Chad Fuller was released on bond today. That's his lawyer you see in the picture. We've been ordered not to show Fuller's face. Police say he was at the Hilton Del Mar when two parents got into a fight. Fuller's attorney claims the whole thing started when the other father insulted Fuller's wife. The victim was taken to the hospital where he was stitched and released. The man accused of killing 3 homeless men now faces the death penalty. John Guerrero was charged with special circumstances allegations of multiple murders today. And we have also been ordered to blur his face in court. But 10 News has video of police taking him away in handcuffs last year. San Diego police say that last year Guerrero beat the men with a hammer and railroad spikes. They say he set 2 of them on fire as well. Guerrero has pleaded not guilty to all of the charges against him.
A crime alert in the South Bay where the search is on for the person who shot 2 men. It happened just after midnight in the area of 6th and National Boulevard. Witnesses say the suspect walked up to the men and started shooting. They were each hit once in the leg and then walked to a home for help. They are both expected to be okay. The trial is underway for the man accused of nearly killing a student from San Diego and leaving his best friend dying in his arms. Stephen Jones is accused of opening fire on the Northern Arizona University campus back in 2015. 3 people were hurt, including San Diegan Nick Prado. A 4th person, Prado's friend, was killed. Prado spoke exclusively with us last year about this ordeal.
It's rough to think that, one of my friends didn't make it out alive.
Jones faces first-degree murder and aggravated assault charges. He said he did it in self-defense.
New at 6 o'clock, the historic California Theater is coming down to make room for more downtown housing. The City Council has unanimously approved a project that will replace that historic building with a multi-use skyscraper. That new building will have nearly 300 homes along with space and shops for parking. The theater has been fenced off for nearly 30 years because it is vulnerable to earthquakes and is no longer safe.
It is so scary and so ridiculously unsafe that there's nothing we can do to really keep it historic because it's degraded too much.
There's no word on when construction of that new building will start.
A pilot arrested for being drunk after making a hard landing in Whittier was on his way to San Diego. Daryl Roberts was on his way here from Temecula, but somehow he got off course. Roberts claims he was forced to land in a parking lot because his plane ran out of fuel. He was the only one on board and no one was hurt.
We have new information on how a family survived their car turning into an inferno after a drunk driver hit them head on. That collision so strong it set a pacifier and a coloring book into the roadway there. Now the family was visiting Fresno from Arkansas when that drunk driver drifted into their lane and hit them, flipping their car, bursting it into flames, trapping the family inside. So a group of other drivers saw the fire, pulled over and started using water bottles and dirt to try and put it out.
Being a wife and mother myself, I just thought we need to help her. When I kicked in the windshield, it was already shattered and I kicked it in on the driver's side.
Well, the family made it out safely, and those rescuers hope their story will inspire others to help out during emergencies.
San Diego Unified will spend the rest of the school year testing water for lead. It started this morning at Horton Elementary. The district will test 5 different schools per day until they've taken samples from about 200 district buildings. In addition to lead, they'll be checking for bacteria, copper, and other harmful chemicals. It should take about a month to get the results, and the district promises to post them on its website.
New at 6, the San Bernardino School District could become the first in the state to deny children of undocumented immigrants a free public education. Anti-illegal immigration activist Joseph Turner is collecting signatures on a petition calling for those students to pay a non-resident tuition fee. Turner hopes his initiative will overturn a Supreme Court decision requiring that school districts educate every child living in the United States. The parents aren't sold on that idea.
I think any kid should be able to be educated because it's not their fault that they're here illegally or whatever.
Well, Turner needs 3,200 signatures to make it on the November ballot.
Happening now, President Trump's administration is considering bids for the proposed border wall, including several from right here in San Diego. And today was the deadline to submit a design. Hundreds of companies have applied, but just 4 to 10 of them will be chosen to build a prototype. They will be built on a quarter-mile strip of federally owned land in San Diego.
New developments. Governor Jerry Brown is making a final push for a gas tax increase to fix our roads. The deadline to approve the $5 billion a year road repair package is this Thursday. So Governor Brown defended the 12-cent gas tax increase today in Riverside, saying anyone who thinks we can fix our roads without raising taxes is living in a fantasy land.
The Republicans in Sacramento want to fix our roads. They love the idea. They just don't want to be associated with the bill because it has money in it. I think they expect the Tooth Fairy to pay the $5 billion every year.
Well, if the bill passes, it would be our first gas tax hike in more than 20 years.